Okay, so welcome everybody. We are going to talk a little bit about student life at UW-Tacoma. But before we do that, um, I'm going to just do a quick introduction of who I am, about why we're doing this, and how each of you, the students, can reach out to not only our campus, but to specific people in specific offices. So first and foremost, I'm Stefan Harris. I'm the Associate Director of New Student and Family Programs, and that basically entails orientation programs specifically. So, as part of this particular conversation, we're going to bring in a few folks that are going to talk to you about student life at UW-Tacoma. So, you're going to hear from people from the Office of Student Life, you're going to hear from our PAC advisors. You're going to hear about the Veterans and Military Resource Center. You're going to hear from people from First Gen Fellows, and they're just going to talk to you a little bit more about who they are and just some of the things that their offices do. And so, with that, let's jump right into the introductions. And so, can we start off?
Hi, everyone. My name is Elizabeth Hanson. I'm the Director of Student Involvement and Leadership at UW-Tacoma. I advise our student government and I support the programs within service and leadership.
Hi, everyone. My name is Connor Leary. I'm the Assistant Director for Student Involvement, and I oversee our registered student organizations, which plan programs and activities for students to attend on campus. I also work on managing the student centers on campus and with our Dog Den event management portal.
I'm Danielle Nash. I'm the Student Media Specialist for the Center for Student Involvement. I advise the student newspaper, The Ledger, our literary journal, Tacoma West, and our RSO marketing assistant, who's responsible for putting out social media posts and campus television ads for our campus clubs.
Hi, everyone. My name is Steve Aden. I am the Student Activity Specialist at UW-Tacoma. That means I work with our Student Activity Board, who plans a ton of different events, everything from bingos to movie nights to like fun evening lock-ins. And I also plan welcome days, and we hope to see you at those events once you're through orientation and taking classes in the first few weeks of the quarter.
Hi, everyone. I'm Zavon Castanova. I am the program assistant for the Center for Student Involvement, and a majority of my work entails a lot of clerical and administrative support to the folks in my office, which whether it's with Liz, Connor, Steve, and Daniel. I also assist with student programs, support events, as well as helping reserve events for student groups and internal departments on campus.
Hi, everyone. My name is Danielle Pacheco. I coordinate first generation student initiatives on campus. I work with first generation fellows. Our office helps or supports students, provides services and resources that help them to transition into college of first generation students. And it helps them succeed both in academic and personal life. Nice to meet you.
Hi, my name is Juanita Garcia. I oversee the VMRC, where we help students transition from military life into school atmospheres. We offer the military benefits. We have a military connected career development specialist, as well as a veteran corps navigator.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jared. I am a PAC advisor. I've been one for 3 years now. I am a senior at the University of Washington, Tacoma. I use he, him, his pronouns, and I'm in the purple pack. Yeah.
Hey, everyone. My name is Shawn. I am also a PAC advisor. This is going to be my second year as a PAC advisor. I am a current junior, and I also use he, him pronouns. And I am in gray PAC.
Excellent. Thank you guys for the introduction. So we're gonna jump right into some questions for each group. And really the whole point of this is to really help you as students get a sense of who's here at UW-Tacoma, but then also what are the areas or what are the resources where you'll need help, because we are definitely going to be doing a lot of virtual work, meetings, all of that, class, all of that. And so we want to make sure in terms of the involvement aspect and getting a sense of who this campus is, you're going to hear from a lot of different people. And so I'll jump right into the first question, and this is in regards to the associate students of University of Washington Tacoma, or better known as ASUWT. Can you, Liz, talk a little bit more of what does the campus community look/feel like?
Absolutely. So yes, ASUWT is our student government, and their purpose is to represent your interests on our campus to the broader tri-campus community and even to the state. So campus community is really important to them. And at the core, in a word, I would describe it as welcoming. You're going to run into so many people that are willing to help you and make you feel like you're really part of the Husky family. And that's going to be your fellow students, your PAC advisors, your staff members, and the faculty that you're going to meet through your classes. There's going to be so many opportunities available to you. It's probably going to feel overwhelming when you first get here. But just like take a risk, like step a little bit outside of your comfort zone to discover the campus community for yourself, but also make it your own community too, because you're part of our Husky family now, and part of that responsibility will fall to you to make those connections, attend a student organization meeting, stop into some of our offices, go to events, ask questions to your professors, talk to your fellow students in class, because that's really is what makes our community so special. ASUWT does that through an executive board and a senate, and our senate represents students from all of our academic areas. And if you are also passionate about giving back to your campus community, if you want to get involved, we have uniquely a chance for people to get involved in the senate. Because of everything moving online, our senate elections got postponed to this fall. So starting very soon, we will have opportunities for people to run for up to 15 Senate positions. So you're going to see our website at the end of today's presentation. You can go to that to find more information, and you could get in right at the ground level. There's lots of different ways to find your involvement, not just within student government. You're going to hear a lot more about them today, whether that's through volunteering, through campus jobs, through just showing up to activities, participating in welcome days. There's just so many options. And if you don't see something that fits for you, come and find any of us that are on this chat today, because that's why we're all here. We are all here to create this amazing student life and all of these opportunities for you. And if we're missing the mark in some way, it's our job to fill that gap, and we can only do that by interacting with you and meeting you. So reach out to us in any way that you can.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Liz. So you mentioned a little bit about getting involved. So the next question, just in a student life perspective, why is it important to get involved with activities outside of the classroom?
Sure. Well, I mean, academics, of course, are number one. That is your job while you're here at school. But getting involved outside of the classroom can just elevate everything from there. Take RSOs, for example. Almost every single academic program that we have has a complementary student organization with it. So if you are going into Milgard, we have an accounting student association. We have a finance club. If you're in the School of I can never say that one, SIAS, Interdisciplinary Arts and Sciences. We like our acronyms for that reason. We've got a psychology club, a criminal justice league. There's so many different ways that you can get involved with your classmates outside of the classroom, connect the dots between what you're learning in class to real life situations outside of it. That can also be an awesome way to meet your faculty members in a different setting, because faculty members are often serving as the advisor for those groups. We know through studies that students that are involved on campus are more likely to do better and to graduate. And we don't just want you to be here this year, we want you to come back next year. We want you to finish all the way through to that degree. So that's why all of these offices that you're going to hear about today are here to do that for you. Community service is another big part of campus culture. Here last school year, 2 years ago, students logged over 11,000 hours of community service. This past year, that was down a little bit, understandably, because it's hard to go out and volunteer when everyone's on quarantine. But we still had, before that happened, over 4,000 hours, almost 5,000, had been logged through our Center for Service and Leadership. And we are ingrained in our community here, not just the campus community, but the Tacoma community too. And so that's another amazing way to connect with the surrounding communities in our area. And so if you are commuting from another town, or even if you're living right here on campus, there's all these different ways to make those connections, and you never know what type of networking you might have, who you're going to meet, and that's really going to help you when you are on the tail end and we're talking about graduation and you're applying for jobs or looking for internships. All of those things that you're doing outside of the classroom are really going to help you strengthen your resume and your experiences to get those other opportunities and jobs.
One other thing that we like to talk about too when we talk about why it's important to get involved in campus, and this is especially true for Student Activities Board, sometimes it's just really important to have fun. Your top job and top priority is to be a student, but we also know that sometimes that can be really tiring, and sometimes you just don't have it in you to study anymore because you've studied for 3 hours and had way too much coffee already. So something else that's really important to keep in mind is, like, it's important to get involved just so you can have some fun in your time on campus. We know that having fun can also give you a lot more energy and make you more productive. Sometimes it's really important to take a break and have some fun and get some of that creative energy back. So that's also another really important reason to get involved, just so you can have the most fun you can while you're on campus as well, and take a little bit of a reprieve when it feels like you're being a little too overwhelmed with some of your academics at the time.
Cool. So I think, thank you. I appreciate that answer for student life, because I think one of the things that students are always curious, especially now, what is it like? How am I going to get involved? What are the things that I'm going to be able to do? So I appreciate the responses that y'all gave. Another element to involving yourself on campus comes from a first gen standpoint. And so, Yanira, I want to ask you this question. What is a first generation college student? Let's start there.
All right, that sounds good. So a first generation college student is a student who identifies as their first in their family to graduate from college. So that means that neither their parents or their guardians completed a college degree. On our campus, we're a big family. 56% of our undergraduate students identify as first gen. Well, it's not only students, we also have faculty and staff who identify as first gen. We're very fortunate that we have been able, through the years, to have a collection of posters of faculty and staff and even students who have decided to share their stories with the campus and the community. So in some of the faculty and some of the staff offices, you might see posters there, they say, we are first gen. And what they want to see happen is that you connect with them. If you're a first gen student, make sure that you let them know, hey, I'm a first gen too, I'm part of the family. And you will be able, trust me, they'll be able to share their stories and how their experiences as a first gen student, especially graduate, have been for them, either on our campus or wherever they come from. So yeah, that's right. We're 56% of undergraduate students and a bunch of faculty and staff too.
So along the same lines, similar to what Student Life just talked about, from a first gen standpoint, why is it important for first gen students to get involved in activities outside of the classroom?
So I would say, I would like to focus on at least 4 main points. There's many reasons why, but I would say one will be because it helps you to become aware of what are some of the various resources that are available for students on campus. You know, you connect and you're able to find out what is available for me and maybe do I need it or not, or at which point I might need this particular resource or service. So I would say that's one. 2, it helps you to create a wider network, you know? So it can help you increase your social network. You know, this could be either through friends, this could be either through I don't know, maybe you find your study buddy, you know, or you find your accountability partner, or maybe you connect with this professor who just so happens is from the same town you grew up with. So it helps you to increase that network, you know, that social network, that support network. Also, I will say that it gives you an opportunity to get to connect with other first-gen students, you know. It's very interesting to see how can we support each other and how there might be some things that we have in similar, not only our identity as first-gen, but our stories and how we connect. Not only that, we're able to share tips and strategies on how are we making this work. You will be surprised and also amazed at how the lived experiences of your first-gen partners, of the first-gen peers too, and the tips and tricks also. I want to say that you're able to connect with something you like. You know, you're coming here to campus with skills, with experiences, and already with your own toolkit, right? So it will be great for you to come to campus and feel that you belong. You belong here. You're part of UWT. So connecting and being active in something on campus outside of the classroom affirms and also validates the contributions that you bring here to our campus, that we need you. You're part of this campus and we need you. So come show us and share with us what you know. Because I know there's a lot of stuff that we can learn from you. So I don't know, I think it helps with that sense of belonging and validating who we are as first gen. I don't know. So those will be my 4 tips or ideas of why I think it's important to be, you know, to get involved outside of the classroom.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I know we're definitely encouraging, and our students are wanting to really get an understanding of the first gen aspect. You know, why should I get involved? Who do I connect with? How do I connect with them? So really appreciate that response. So I'd love to shift gears and move on to another office on campus that is very specific. And that is, because we like our acronyms, that is the VMRC. And if you could kind of explain to us what the VMRC is, Juanita, and give us a sense of, you know, how the VMRC helps students. But first, if you could break down that acronym for us, that would be awesome. And then answer the question, who does the VMRC serve?
All right, so the UWT Veterans and Military Resource Center, VMRC, serves the veterans, active duty, reservists, National Guard, and members, including the spouses, dependents of service members that are connected to all the 5 services. This includes Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and the Coast Guard. The VMRC Suite's been around since 2017 and has been providing support and referrals throughout the campus and the community. So we have about 18% of military connected students that attended our school last year. So we just see the increase growing. More people are connecting to our services because of the joint military bases around the community.
Excellent. Yeah, thank you. I know that our population is ever growing too. That's another element as well. So for this next group, PAC advisors, because you're coming from a student perspective, can you, either of you or both of you, answer this question? You know, how did you get involved in the different activities outside of the classroom? And how did they affect your college experience?
I guess I can answer first. So the first thing that I actually got involved in on campus that was outside of the classroom was like that really helped me dive into things was actually becoming a PAC advisor. So the job really changed my entire perspective on college, because my parents, they basically told me, when you go to school, the only thing you should do is be in school. Like, you shouldn't be doing anything other than schoolwork. And I honestly thought that's just how things were supposed to be. So that's just what I was on, like, for the first few quarters of school. And then during spring quarter, I became a PAC advisor, and just like seeing all of the different trainings that we were doing and all the different offices that were actually on campus and all the different things that we could do, it really opened my eyes to like start joining clubs and start being a little bit more involved. And it actually helped me start my own club, which we got a bunch of students to join, and it was really, really fun. So it kind of opened my eyes, and it made college 10 times more fun than I was expecting it to be, because I made a lot more friends. I was able to connect with so many more people, a lot more than I was expecting to. So it was just, I feel like it was just a really worthwhile experience, in my opinion.
Thank you.
Yeah, so like Derek, when I first started getting involved was when I applied to become a PAC advisor. And that really changed my experience, because I did start having fun while I was at school, which helped me to sort of build a community and also form a sense of belonging on campus. And that helped me to basically start succeeding in my classes more than I did in my first few quarters here at UWT. And then, like Derek, I did start a few clubs with some friends. And I've also joined a bunch of other clubs and became an officer of an already existing club. And so like just building that community and building that sense of belonging has really helped me. And like it all started when I first became a PAC advisor.
Yeah, thank you guys for answering that question, because I think that your perspective as students is really helpful, because you're going to be so busy in classroom and learning virtually and making those adjustments, and then also, you know, working. And so it's really important to think about how you budget that time as a student. And so thank you both for answering that question. I would love to just hear some examples from any of you about the kinds of activities that you do. If we can, let's start with our student life folks. Just if you could give me or give our students some example, maybe a couple examples of what you do, some of the activities.
So the registered student organizations have been mentioned quite a lot, our RSOs, because we love our acronyms here. But basically what we'll be doing for the fall, we will have an involvement fair, which allows all of our RSOs to gather together. This year, this quarter will be virtual. And we're working on a way to make sure that students who are coming in who want to be involved, just like Jay, Shawn, and Derek, have the opportunity to connect with our RSOs via Zoom in a really helpful way. We're going to use our dog den system, so you get to navigate that system and be able to find events or opportunities for involvement from your comfort of your computer chair. And we're trying to make this process as easily as possible so that you can connect with other students and use Zoom more than just for class. We know that it's going to be a lot of time on if you're taking a lot of remote virtual classes on Zoom on the computer screen, but make time for yourself to check in with some of these interest meetings and get to attend some of the programs that our registered student organizations, as well as other student orgs on our campus, are going to be putting on for you.
Another one I'd like to highlight, so Connor mentioned the student involvement fair. Those will all be part of Welcome Day. So again, I'm going to keep plugging, pay attention to the Welcome Day schedule when that comes up. There'll be a lot of great stuff there. Student Activities Board is also very involved with making different events happen. Again, we'll make a lot of events happen throughout the year, but one I really want to highlight that I'm super excited about. Typically we host an event called Lights Out, which in a non-quarantine year, usually we take over the University Y, put up inflatables, have a dance, do all sorts of stuff in the middle of the night with glow paint, and it's super awesome, but obviously we can't do that. We were trying to figure out what to do instead, and so what we're gonna roll out for this year is gonna be a whole day of escape rooms. So we're gonna have a large series of virtual escape rooms happening on Friday, October 9th, and that's all gonna be coordinated by the Student Activities Board. look to the Welcome Days programming to figure out how to sign up and get into those escape rooms. But that's something that you can look for from the SAB. And that's the type of programming we'll typically put on, whether it's escape rooms, bingo, or a slam poet is something we're currently working on getting slated for November. So that's a bit of what we do.
Student government will host at least once a quarter, they will have a student town hall with the chancellor and other campus administrators. So last year, topics came up around the campus budget process, parking and transportation, campus safety, a wide array of issues. And this is a great chance to speak directly to administrators, which on some campuses, you don't get that opportunity. Another really cool one that we participate in is Huskies on the Hill, which happens each winter in January or February. And it's a tri-campus day in Olympia, our state capital, where students get to go down and they are meeting with lawmakers, they're meeting your congressperson, your legislators, and you're able to advocate for needs of our campus and college students around the state. So the big thing in the past that we have pushed for is the passing of the state need grant. So if you have received funding through that, like that is directly because of work that our students have done and students around the state have done in Olympia. And that's a pretty cool opportunity. From the community service realm of things, we do breakaway programs or alternative spring breaks. You might have heard that phrasing before. So this past year, over winter break, we had a group of a dozen students. This was a local service trip, so it was just a little bit south of Tacoma, but they stayed in cabins at a local campground for 3 nights, and then they got to work on a Habitat for Humanity build. And it was a really awesome experience. Students learned everything from start to finish of all things around construction. They were putting up siding and digging trenches and just doing all sorts of different stuff. So we hope to have those offered again this upcoming year.
So the Ledger is UW-Tacoma's student newspaper. It publishes weekly, and if you are trying to figure out where to get involved in campus or what's going on campus, the Ledger is a fantastic starting point because we have a fantastic team of student reporters who spotlight clubs. They do teacher spotlights. They'll write about what the student government is doing most recently and what's happening with campus administrators. We also have a really fun opinion section and an arts and entertainment section for when events are happening in the community. And it's a really great way to find out what's going on around campus. And traditionally, we have always published in print with the UW's response to COVID and the virtual quarter we had in spring. We introduced an email newsletter. So now, from now on, the Ledger can appear right in your inbox every Monday, or in the case of a holiday weekend, on a Tuesday. The other program I oversee, Tacoma West, is the literary journal on campus. So if any of you are interested in writing, if you write short stories, if you write creative nonfiction essays, if you like to write poetry, if you take photographs, if you paint, if you draw, Tacoma West is a paperback book that is published each spring and exclusively features the work of UW-Tacoma students. Right all the way up until spring break, you're able to submit your work to the Tacoma West email, and a staff of 5 student editors considers the work and decides whether it's a good fit for the year's journal, and then it publishes each spring. And we celebrate the new paperback book each year with a launch party at the end of the school year. So it's a really great way, if you're creatively inclined, it's a really great way to become involved and to expose yourself to a pretty realistic version of the publication process that you might face in the wider world outside of college.
Would First Gen or VMRC, would you want to jump in? Are there any examples of activities that you offer students?
Well, the VMRC does midterm and end of the term pizza breaks. We also do the Husky Halloween hangout with the rest of the campus. So we started bringing in cook-offs, competitions, because we do have very competitive student and staff We also participate in a Veteran Appreciation Week, as well as our May Mental Health Conference. Our office does support the peer advisors of veteran education, so that's student staffing. We hire on military connected students, and they are able to, similar to what the PAC advisors do, but for military benefits. And we also participate in our quarterly and welcome rotation events.
Through the First Gen Fellows, First Gen Student Initiatives, through the academic year, we host a series of workshops. These workshops are focused on academic skills, financial wellness, and career development. We are able to do this thanks to the collaboration with all those units that are experts in those fields. So we have around 8 to 10 workshops that happen through the per quarter. Of course, during the fall, they all will be online. The time is usually between 12:30. They all happen between 12:30 and 1:30. So those are workshops, and we will be sending this calendar coming up soon because we have all the speakers confirmed already. Also, we have a series of signature events. We try to host 3 signature events per quarter. On a typical session, or a typical quarter, we will have our welcome potluck, which is hosted by the Office of Student Financial Aid and Student Advocacy. But don't worry, we're coming up with something that is going to be virtual, so we're not leaving you hanging. We're gonna have a party no matter what to welcome everybody. It's gonna happen, trust us. Another big thing that we're having during the fall is the National First Generation College Student Celebration. This is a national event where we recognize the accomplishments and the contributions of first-gen students. So on our campus is going to be an entire week, and everything is going to be online. We culminate on November 6th. Typically, the celebration happens on November 8th. It just so happens that November 8th is on a Sunday. So we're moving our celebration for a Friday, November 6th. And that's the day that we actually unveil all the posters of faculty, students, staff, and alumni who are first gen, who are sharing with the campus or with all of us their stories as first gen. We usually choose 12. So we will be doing that unveiling and having another party that day on November 6th. It's gonna be virtual. You'll get your invitation also. Another resource that we have is the Peer Success Mentors. This is a wonderful collaboration with the Teaching and Learning Center, where we have trained students who serve as, how can I say, as motivators. They use the model of the coaching, peer coaching, and these students help you with goal setting, time management, study skills. They serve as a motivator, somebody who they know the tricks of the trade, and they'll be able to help you to answer some of those questions. You can set appointments with them online virtually through the Teaching and Learning Center, and the appointment can be no more than 45 minutes, but it could be as short as you want. We encourage students to connect with them as early as you're available. They will start their schedules the first week of classes. They will be available for appointments. And we have 4 wonderful peer success mentors. And trying to say we have workshops, signature events, peer success mentors. Oh, and if you're a new incoming transfer student, we have the First Gen Fellows cohort. And this is a cohort designed for new transfer students and rising sophomores who would like to develop a community. In this community, we connect the students with faculty and staff who are first gen via our Lunch and Learns. Those students who meet our requirements, they also receive a book scholarship of $300 every quarter as you participate. And I think that's it. We're dying to meet you. We can't wait to see you then.
That's excellent. Derek or Shawn, from the PAC advisor perspective, are there any examples of activities that y'all are doing?
Some things that we've been doing during the summertime is we've been holding these things called PAC chats, and like at each PAC chat, it's a little bit different for each one. Sometimes we invite campus partners to come and talk with us, or we just kind of have like a little event, or like we play games to invite students just to get to know them a little bit better, because we really want students to kind of have just kind of know someone as they come into the campus already. And then on like Saturdays and stuff, we we'll hold special events for students who would really like to come and be involved on campus. But yeah, we just kind of try to give the students as much of a way to get involved as they can while they're here or while school hasn't started yet. But yeah, that's really what we're trying to do right now.
Cool. Excellent. I love it. So before we get out of here and we wrap this conversation up, I want for you students, I want you to be able to get in contact with all these offices that were speaking to you today, or just giving you some insight and input. So what we have is just some web pages that you can follow up with. In this particular one, you'll see the Office of Student Life. You can look at the particular webpage for Student Life as a whole, and then also as the Center for Involvement. And so the Center for Student Involvement. And so basically give you an opportunity to look at some of the programs and events that are happening, other elements of those offices as part of the Office of Student Life. And then you can contact just the Office of Student Life itself. Just to get, if you have questions that you're not quite sure how to ask, or you just want to reach out, feel free to do that. And that's the whole point of all of this, is really getting to know the folks that are behind these offices, and then knowing how to actually access and contact them. The next office is the First Gen Fellows. So again, here's their webpage. Follow up with it if you can. Reach out to them if you have questions. Follow them on social media. It's really important that we help you as students stay engaged as much as you want to, and making sure that we offer those up to you. And so the next is ASUWT. Again, webpage, how to contact them, follow them on social media as well. Keep up to date on the things that are happening and taking place. We want to make sure that all the things that you want are available and accessible. And then VMRC, same thing. You heard Juanita speak a little bit more about who they are. Here's how to contact them and connect with them. Again, stay active in your questions and stay active in how you want to reach out. And then lastly, the PAC advisors, you just heard Derek talk about PAC chats. They've been doing those, I believe, since May or June. Yeah, they've been doing June, actually, been doing the PAC chats. And so it's just another way for you as students to connect with other students while also hearing a more in-depth conversation or learning information about specific resources on campus. And some of the folks that are part of this conversation have already done those. And so you can hear a little bit more particular specific content around getting involved, getting engaged, or just learning more information about that can support you as a new student. And so really to wrap this up, I want to just thank you all for being a part of this. This is the first time that we're doing these webinars around information for new students. And this particular was the first one around student life at UW-Tacoma. As students, you'll see subsequent ones about managing your finances or parking on campus. And so stay tuned for those. You'll be hearing from some of those particular folks in those offices. And so with that, I would love to just offer just some encouraging words to you as students. And that is, we're all going through this with you. We're all adjusting. We're all trying to figure out the next step. But the most important thing is you are a part of this Husky family. You are a part of UW-Tacoma. And we want you all to make sure that you have the resources in front of you and you know how to stay connected to this campus and to the people of this campus, because you are part of this large family. And so with that, I appreciate everybody that was a part of this conversation. And the last thing that I will say is go Dogs. So thank you all again. And we will be in touch with all of you as students as soon as we can.